Humanity's Titan-class warship makes first contact, and the aliens froze in terror. HFY, best sci-fi stories. The Andari Confederation prided itself on its diplomatic finesse, vast fleets, and centuries of peaceful, if subtly enforced, galactic dominance. For nearly 1,000 years, they had brokered treaties, quelled rebellions, and subdued the occasional aggressive species with surgical precision. Their navy, sleek and glittering with advanced technology, was considered unmatched. Their flagship, Veritas, symbolized that superiority. But everything changed the moment the humans arrived. The humans were a whispered rumor in the galactic undercurrents. They hailed from a remote spiral of the Milky Way, a blue marble named Earth, nestled among unremarkable stars. For years, their existence had been largely dismissed as myth or low-priority intelligence chatter. The few reports that did circulate painted them as isolated, primitive, barely spacefaring. A minor species destined to burn out or remain irrelevant. Until today, the Veritas drifted gracefully near the neutral zone of the Cygnus Expanse, a vast, politically fragile region where the Confederation often hosted first-contact negotiations with emerging civilizations. Admiral Tovin stood on the bridge, his silver skin gleaming under the filtered light of the command center. His crew bustled quietly, anticipation humming in the recycled air. "Admiral," said Liaison Officer Rel, her voice cool and professional, "we've picked up an unknown signature approaching at sublight speeds." "It's massive, sir." Tovin arched a brow ridge. "Massive? Define that." Rel hesitated, her multi-limbed fingers tapping across the holographic display. The projection shimmered, outlining the incoming vessel. A hush swept over the bridge. The ship was gargantuan, measuring nearly 12 kilometers in length. Its frame bristled with unfamiliar but unmistakably aggressive architecture. Jagged armor plating, modular weapon arrays, and ominous protrusions resembling ancient siege engines scaled for space. Where most advanced species designed ships sleek and curved for aesthetic harmony, this vessel screamed brute force and unapologetic intimidation. "Is that a mining platform?" one officer whispered. "No," Rel replied grimly. "It's warship." "Impossible," muttered another. "No species builds ships that large anymore. The logistics, the resources." "They do," Tovin interrupted, eyes narrowing. "Or they did. Hail them." Now, the channel crackled open. An audio feed, rough with interference, stabilized. A voice spoke, deep, measured, and unmistakably human. "This is Commodore Evelyn Voss of the HNS Behemoth, Titan class. You have entered a designated neutral contact zone. Identify yourselves, or be considered a threat." Tovin's pulse quickened. Titan class? That term hadn't been uttered in practical shipbuilding for over 6 centuries. The last known Titan-class vessels were relics from the brutal galactic conflicts of the Dark Era, enormous, impractical, and ultimately banned by interstellar treaties. Yet here one was alive, operational, and human. Tovin gestured silently to cut outgoing transmission. "Give me everything we know about humans," he snapped. Rel's fingers danced over the console. "Sparse intelligence. They've remained isolated within a sector of the Orion Arm, minimal diplomatic outreach. Technological status, unknown. Potential for aggression, inconclusive." Tovin exhaled through clenched teeth. Not anymore. The behemoth loomed ever closer. Its surface was marred with battle scars, plating patched, sections bearing evidence of high-energy impacts. And yet, it moved with the eerie grace of a predator entirely unafraid of its surroundings. "Their weapons are powered," Rel noted quietly. "Shields at maximum. They're not here for peace talks, Admiral." A strategic pause stretched across the bridge. The Andari were proud, but they were not foolish. Facing a Titan-class warship, especially an unknown variant, was a gamble with odds they could not calculate. Tovin straightened his uniform. "Open the channel again." The human's face appeared this time. Commodore Evelyn Voss. Her eyes were sharp, calculating, her expression a blend of exhaustion and unwavering resolve. Unlike the delicate, angular features of most galactic species. Her face was weathered, her posture radiating hardened confidence. There was no arrogance, just certainty. "This is Admiral Tovin of the Andari Confederation," he began diplomatically. "You're in a neutral contact zone established by our government for peaceful exchange. Your ship is unexpected." The faintest smile tugged at the corner of Voss's mouth. "Neutral, huh? Well, Admiral, it's your lucky day. We're here for first contact. Though, judging by the looks on your faces, maybe you've heard about us." "Rumors," Tovin admitted. "Nothing substantial." "Good," Voss replied evenly. "Let's fix that." A moment later, sensor alarms chimed across the Andari Bridge. Multiple energy signatures bloomed into existence, exiting from the Behemoth's underbelly. Not fighters, not shuttles, but escort frigates, cruisers, and planetary assault platforms. They had been hidden within the Titan's hull, a mobile fortress carrying an entire fleet. The Confederation officers froze. Tovin's diplomatic training kept his expression neutral, but inside, dread coiled like a serpent. This was no primitive civilization stumbling into the galactic stage. This was a species that had built their own Titans, hidden fleets within them, and arrived with military precision under the guise of diplomacy. "Your move, Admiral," Voss said, her tone calm, almost conversational. "We can exchange pleasantries." Or, she let the implication hang. Tovin's mind raced. The Andari fleet could call reinforcements, true, but the nearest battle groups were days away. Engaging now, with their flagship outmatched, was suicide. Yet retreating would signal weakness. "Your arrival violates multiple interstellar regulations regarding armament during first contact," Tovin pointed out. "Your species never contacted us to sign those agreements," Voss replied coolly. "We owe you nothing." A silence settled. Across the Andari Bridge, officers exchanged nervous glances. Even the most battle-hardened among them could see the truth. The Behemoth wasn't here to play by their rules. It was a declaration that humanity had arrived, and they were ready. Tovin's gaze drifted over the humans' war machine. Every angular plate, every scorched scar, every weapon mount spoke of species forged in relentless conflict. They had not been nurtured under the protective wing of galactic councils. They had not enjoyed centuries of diplomatic handholding. They had survived the hard way. "Admiral," Rel whispered beside him, her voice tight with anxiety. "Their weapons are locking on us." Tovin made his decision. "I propose a diplomatic reception aboard your vessel," he stated, standing tall. "We may have much to discuss." Voss's eyes flickered with approval. "Smart call, Admiral. Our shuttle bay is open. But I'll warn you, your people tend to underestimate us. I'd advise against it." "We won't make that mistake again," Tovin assured her. The transmission ended. Across the bridge, the tension ebbed slightly, replaced by a grim understanding. The era of Andari dominance, the careful, curated galactic order, was over. Humanity had arrived, riding a Titan into their front yard, and they had no intention of asking permission. As Tovin prepared for the diplomatic shuttle, he reviewed the fragmented intelligence one last time. Scattered reports of human colonies surviving in hospitable worlds. Accounts of fierce, adaptable soldiers. Whispered tales of entire pirate clans vanishing after raids on human freighters. He had thought those stories exaggerated. Now, staring at the hulking silhouette of the Behemoth, he knew better. The shuttle departed from the Veritas, gliding toward the human warship. Its surface loomed larger with every second, a steel leviathan that seemed less a construct and more a force of nature. As they docked, Tovin's guards flanked him nervously, their weapons holstered but hands twitching near the triggers. The airlock hissed open. Commodore Voss stood waiting, flanked by human marines clad in heavy armor, faces concealed behind visors. Behind her, the corridor stretched into the heart of the Titan, a labyrinth of engineering marvels and military might. "Welcome aboard," Voss greeted. "Mind the step. Some of our diplomats faint at the sight of our reactor core." Tovin exhaled, steadying his nerves. "We are not here to faint." "Good," Voss replied. Because we're not here to beg. As they walked deeper into the behemoth, Tovin couldn't help but notice the small, proud insignias painted along the walls, battle honors, expedition markings, and phrases in bold human script. Earth endures. No one left behind. We bury our dead and our enemies. Tovin's footsteps slowed slightly as realization fully dawned. The Confederation had encountered countless species, but humans were different. They hadn't come to join the galactic community. They had come to lead it, or, if necessary, to tear it down and build their own. For the first time in his decorated career, Admiral Tovin truly understood fear. Not the fleeting fear of battle, nor the political fear of missteps, but the deep, bone-deep fear of facing an unstoppable, unrelenting force. Humanity's Titan had made first contact, and the galaxy would never forget it.